Welcome to Human Nature for Hire. I'm bringing you a fascinating audiobook that challenges everything you think you know about human behavior. What if greed, selfishness, and laziness aren't character flaws, but survival instincts that helped our ancestors thrive? This is Episode 1, Chapter 1, Greediness. If you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell. We're releasing this complete book on evolutionary psychology and influence, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Let's dive in.
Chapter 1. Greediness. The instinct of greediness originates from survival-driven resource accumulation tendencies. The greed instinct, also known as resource accumulation, is a natural human behavior that developed as a survival strategy. In early human history, life was unpredictable, and resources like food, water, and shelter were scarce. To survive, people instinctively gathered and stored more than they immediately needed, preparing for times of scarcity. This behavior increased their chances of survival during tough conditions. Today, this instinct shows up in different ways, such as the desire for wealth, possessions, or power. People often strive to accumulate money, property, or social status, believing these resources will provide security and a better quality of life. While this drive can fuel ambition and innovation, it can also lead to overcompetition, inequality, and even unethical behavior if unchecked. However, resource accumulation is not inherently bad. When balanced, it can motivate individuals to work hard and improve their lives. The challenge lies in managing this instinct in ways that benefit both individuals and the larger community. By understanding the root of this behavior, we can create systems and cultures that encourage fairness and sharing while still allowing people to pursue their goals and secure their future. So, where can we find the persistence of greed? Well, it can be found in 1. Self-perpetuating systems. Institutions, corporations, and political structures are designed to reward accumulation and competition, making greed a systemic force rather than just an individual trait. 2. Normalization and justification. Greed is often rationalized as ambition, success, or even responsibility, e.g., growing a business, securing a family's future. This moral flexibility allows it to persist without guilt. 3. Cognitive biases. People tend to justify their own greed while condemning it in others, e.g., I worked hard for this, versus they're just being greedy. This selective reasoning allows greed to thrive unchecked. Furthermore, greediness also exists in 2 common areas. 1. The hedonic treadmill. Once people achieve a certain level of wealth or success, they quickly adapt and set new, higher goals. This endless cycle ensures greed is never fully satisfied. 2. Inequality and fear of falling behind. In highly unequal societies, people may feel pressured to accumulate more, much more, simply to avoid slipping down the social or economic ladder. This survival-driven greed reinforces itself over generations. In essence, greed is deeply embedded in human nature and societal systems. While it can be tempered by ethical values, self-awareness, and cultural shifts, its persistence is fueled by both individual psychology and external incentives. Here is an anecdote illustrating greediness in children. At a local playground, a group of children were playing a game where they had to collect colorful plastic balls scattered around the area. One of the children, let's call her Emma, quickly noticed that there were more balls near her friend, let's call her Lily, than anywhere else. She decided to run over and take several balls from Lily's pile, feeling a sense of urgency. Lily protested, but Emma explained, "If I don't take them now, someone else might." As the game continued, Emma's pile of balls grew larger and larger, while others, including Lily, had fewer and fewer. Her instinct was clear: gather as many balls as possible before anyone else could. At first, the teacher watching the game thought Emma was being greedy. But then she realized that Emma wasn't acting out of spite. She was simply driven by a deep-rooted instinct to secure resources for herself. The act of accumulating balls was tied to her sense of security in the game. If she had more, she could win and be safe from losing. Eventually, the teacher intervened and explained to the children the importance of fairness and sharing. While Emma's behavior was a natural expression of resource accumulation, the lesson showed her that playing together meant balancing individual goals with group cooperation. How could this scenario be reframed as a lesson in time and task management? The teacher could explain that just as Emma gathered balls, children can gather knowledge and skills by actively participating and learning. By teaching children how to prioritize learning tasks and manage their time wisely, they can excel in their early education. And more importantly, discover more about their true intrinsic selves with zero guilt. This brings us to the subject of how best to manage people who have the greedy gene. Well, we could 1. Channel their drive toward personal growth. Why? Because Emma's instinct to accumulate resources stems from a desire for security and success, which can be directed toward productive outcomes. How? You can work with the individual to set personal development goals that align with their natural drive. For example, help them identify key skills or knowledge areas to gather that will enhance their expertise and career progression. 2. Teach individual task prioritization. Why? Without guidance, the individual may focus on quantity over quality, leading to inefficiency. How? Provide one-on-one coaching to help them prioritize tasks based on importance and impact. Encourage them to evaluate which tasks will yield the greatest personal benefits and long-term results, rather than simply accumulating work. 3. Reframe collaboration as a personal advantage. Why? They may view collaboration as a threat to their resources or success. Reframing this can help them see the benefits for them personally. How? Highlight how collaborating with others can enhance their own outcomes, such as gaining insights, building influence, or completing tasks more efficiently. In addition, reinforce how strategic partnerships can lead to personal wins. By focusing on individual growth, tailored task management, and reframed collaboration, the person's instincts can be leveraged to maximize their success without creating guilt or tension. That's it for Chapter 1. Here's the takeaway. Our instinct for greed comes from ancient survival drives, the urge to gather and protect resources. Today, it still fuels ambition and success, but when channeled right, it can also drive growth, purpose, and collaboration. Next time, we'll ask, what if selfishness isn't a flaw, but a built-in survival mechanism? We'll uncover how self-preservation shapes everything, from status-seeking to personal ambition. And when putting yourself first goes too far. Before you go, firstly, you can find the full book on Amazon. Link is in the description. Secondly, you are invited to subscribe, turn on notifications, so you don't miss Chapter 2. And last of all, drop a comment below. I read them all, and your thoughts shape what comes next. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
The full book is available on Amazon. Link is in the description if you want to read ahead or support this work.